Good morning everyone, welcome to my Tuesday assembly, the first one of the second half of the spring term. I hope you all enjoyed your half-term break. So we're going to go back in time a little bit because today is Tuesday the 23rd of February and last Tuesday it was the 16th. But I wonder if you can remember doing anything or specifically eating anything at home on that special day last Tuesday. So, yes, you might have had some pancakes as a special treat because it was Pancake Day, better known as Shrove Tuesday. And this is a Christian time of the year, and it is always on the day before Lent. And it's a tradition for Christians on this day to eat pancakes. And that's because Lent is the time for giving things up. So Shrove Tuesday is the last chance to indulge on those foods that you're not allowed during Lent. So pancakes are made up of fat, butter and eggs, which for Christians were forbidden during Lent. Some people like to set themselves a little challenge of giving things up for Lent. 40 days and 40 nights, no chocolate maybe, or no biscuits. Certain things people like to give up. I wonder if anyone in your family has given anything up for Lent. You'll have to ask them and keep an eye on them. But I'm going to read you a little story called Mr. Wolf's Pancakes to go with that theme of Lent and Pancake Day from last week. And this mostly because this book is lovely. It's a wickedly funny fairy tale with a delicious twist. Wonder what that delicious twist is going to be. Let's find out. So one day, Mr. Wolf was feeling hungry. He fancied some pancakes. Yum, yum, he said, licking his lips at the thought of a big pile of fresh, delicious pancakes. That was me last Tuesday. Mr. Wolf had never made pancakes before, so he took his big recipe book down off the shelf and looked inside. But wolves can't read very well, and Mr. Wolf had trouble making sense of it, so he went to get some help from his neighbours. Can you guess who Mr. Wolf's neighbours might be? Let's see if any of them come up. He called on Chicken Licken, who lived nearby. "Please, can you help me read this?" he asked. "No," said Chicken Licken, slamming the door in Wolf's face. Bang! "Oh dear," sighed Mr. Wolf. He sat down, slowly read the book and worked out what he needed, all by himself. Flour, eggs and milk, it looks like. Mr. Wolf looked in his cupboard for the ingredients, but he couldn't find anything he needed. "I'll go to the shop," he decided, and he settled down to write a list. But wolves aren't very good at writing, so Mr. Wolf called on Wee Willie Winkie. "You're very clever," said Mr. Wolf. "Can you help me write my shopping list, please?" "No," said Wee Willie Winkie. "Go away." He slammed his door. Bang! "There's no need to be like that," said Mr. Wolf quietly. Mr. Wolf sat down and tried very hard with his writing until he'd made his shopping list all by himself. Now he needed to count his money to make sure he had enough. But wolves aren't very good at counting, so he went to the gingerbread man for some help. What do you think the gingerbread man's going to say? "Can you help with my money, please?" he asked politely. "No, I'm too busy to bother with you," said the gingerbread man, slamming his door. Bang! So poor Mr. Wolf had to sit down and count his money. It took him a long time, and he had to check it 3 times before it was right. But he did it all by himself. Mr. Wolf needed a basket to carry his shopping, so he called on Little Red Riding Hood. "Please, may I borrow your basket?" he asked very nicely. "I'm not lending my basket to you," said Little Red Riding Hood. "Now clear off." So Mr. Wolf set off to the shop without a basket. "I'll manage," he said. Old Mother Hubbard's general store. Wonder what you can buy in there. Mr. Wolf went to the shop. He looked at his list, remembered what he needed, counted out his money and carried the eggs, milk and flour home, all by himself. Now it was time to make the pancakes, but wolves aren't very good at cooking, so Mr. Wolf called in on the 3 little pigs. "Please can you help me cook my pancakes? I'll share them with you," he said kindly. "No chance," chorused the pigs, slamming their doors. Bang, bang, bang. Mr. Wolf felt sad because nobody wanted to help him. Mr. Wolf went home and started to make the pancakes all by himself. Soon there was a huge pile of delicious pancakes on the table, all ready for eating. Delicious. Now, as Mr. Wolf had been making his pancakes, a lovely smell had drifted out of the kitchen. All his neighbours could smell it, and it made them feel very hungry. They all wanted some pancakes too. They decided to try their luck. What do you think he's going to do? What would you do? So, they knocked on Mr. Wolf's door. "Give us some of your pancakes," said the rotten lot. "Why should I give you any?" said Mr. Wolf. "Not one of you would help me." "We'll help you eat them all," replied Mr. Wolf's neighbours nastily. "Anyway, we're not going away until you give us some." Mr. Wolf thought very hard. There was only one decent thing to do. "Oh, very well, then," he sighed. "You'd better come in." I wonder what his plan is. Got any ideas? Mr. Wolf opened the door wide and whoosh! His greedy neighbours rudely pushed him aside and dashed down the hall. Mr. Wolf shook his head and shrugged his shoulders, followed them into the kitchen, and when they were all in, Mr. Wolf gobbled them up! Snippety-snappity! That was the end of his unhelpful neighbours. And then, with his bulging tummy not quite full, Mr. Wolf sat down to eat his pile of pancakes, and he did it all by himself. Well, there was nobody else around. What a surprise! What a shock! Mr. Wolf, he's not like the normal wolves in the other stories. He seemed all lovely and nice, and then sneaky ran at the end of the story. Do you think he did the right thing? Do you think his friends did the right thing, or his neighbours? Oh, poor Mr. Wolf had to work it all out all by himself. Well, I know it was last Tuesday, but I do hope you managed to have some pancakes on Shrove Tuesday last week. And don't forget to see if anyone you know is giving anything up for Lent. But take care and have a lovely rest of the week, and we will see you again soon. Bye.